Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. It's easy and fast.
Michael, my wife Emily's boss, loves being the center of attention. We were at his house, in a gated community in Scottsdale, Arizona, for a Sunday party. Under the influence of whiskey, he showed his true colors. He's as homophobic as a person can get, plus sexist, racist, and convinced that only his religious beliefs matter. I never liked Michael, and he never liked me either. His house was decorated for the holidays, over the top both inside and out, with flashing lights strung on every corner and a massive Christmas tree at the entrance, classic Scottsdale style. I can't imagine the neighbors being happy with the crowds of cars cruising by from dusk until midnight. There were Christmas trees in every room, and in the main hallway, under more than one of them, I had kissed Emily. After watching the NFL game between the Cowboys and the Packers, I was dreading the company's quarterly award presentation. Emily thought she was going to get one, so I crossed my fingers, hoping the afternoon would pass quickly so we could return to our apartment in downtown Phoenix and celebrate alone. To accommodate the crowd of guests, several folding tables were set up in the backyard and in the dining room. At the main table inside, Michael gathered the company's elite, while everyone else sat on folding chairs in the backyard, enjoying the Arizona heat. Dinner was served buffet style with barbecue ribs and brisket as the main courses. After dinner, pecan pie and margaritas disappeared quickly. Michael acted like his usual arrogant self. I was stunned when he pointed at me and said, "Look, at Daniel, who had to marry outside the family." The whole room held its breath. Even my wife, Emily. What kind of nonsense was that? I was boiling inside. Yeah. When you finished high school, you were already 23. Daniel, by that age, all your cousins were married or expecting kids. That made everyone burst out laughing and cut deeply into our marriage, including Emily. I kept my cool without bothering to respond politely one way or the other. When he comes to family gatherings at our place in Tucson, everyone thinks he's still searching and that Emily must be his parole officer. The laughter echoed through the house. Emily never looked at me, but her laughter rang out as she clung to every word Michael said. When the room calmed down, I spoke. "Michael, I remember you said something about growing up on a farm in rural Oklahoma." Everybody, stop. Emily's panicked plea broke the silence. "Get the hell out of my house. Idiot." Michael stood up, pointing at the door. I finished my bottle of whiskey, almost empty, waved at him, and left alone. Walking out the front door, I never looked back. My phone was already off before I reached the car. It took me less than an hour to pack the few things I wanted from our apartment. I left my wedding ring and the torn marriage certificate on the kitchen table. Though I didn't want to keep them, I did take every photo album I found. They ended up in a dumpster behind the hotel in downtown Phoenix where I spent the first night. I had been to parties at Michael's house before, but his whiskey-fueled humiliation of me that Sunday afternoon was the last straw. Though I had no proof, I believed Emily was having an affair with that man. Her refusal to stand up to him was enough to destroy our marriage. If her job meant more than respect for me, she could keep him and her career. Life is too short to waste on people like that. With online banking, it was easy to open new accounts in only my name. Time wasn't on my side. I needed to secure my share of the assets before Emily realized it was over. So I took everything. Let her figure out how to recover. This was war. And so, what if I was forced to give it back later? By the time Monday morning came around, I was confused. But I quickly remembered where I was and why I was there. I checked out of the hotel and arrived at work in downtown Phoenix at my usual time. My phone was still turned off. By the end of the day, a coworker took a quick look around the parking lot for me. It seemed a woman was waiting. She was parked on the street, apparently watching the cars in our lot. Since my expense reports were due by Friday, I stayed working on them until 9 p.m. There wasn't much I could do if Emily was still there. And she was. As I approached my car, Emily stopped me before I could reach it. "What brings you here so early, Emily?" "Cut the act, Daniel. My credit card got declined. My checking account is empty, and you tore up our marriage certificate. Here, put your ring back on. The savings account too. Don't forget Ty drained that as well. Keep the ring. You don't know how to take a joke. Just a thin-skinned loser. Go to hell. Or better yet, crawl back to Michael. I'm done with you." "Why? Because you laughed at my boss's jokes. If that's what you want to believe, fine. I don't understand what's happening here. And that perfectly describes why I left you. And now, unless you want me to spray you with bug repellent, get out of my way." "You can't do that." She couldn't, but I could. Emily went back to her car. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she yelled as I pulled up beside her. "What's wrong with me? I had a wife who chose to laugh at me, not with me. If I had a wife who loved me, she would have stood up and said, 'Go to hell, Michael, we're leaving.' How dare you insult my husband like that? Let's go, Daniel. Let's get out of this stinking dump." Unlike her usual sharp wit, Emily just stared at me in silence. I drove off. After booking a hotel room for the week near Camelback Road, I tried the coffee shop on the corner I passed by every day, but never stopped it. It was better than good, the smell of roasted beans filling the place. On Tuesday, Emily changed her approach. A note was tucked under my windshield. Daniel, forgive me. I should have defended you against my boss. Please, come home. I love you, Emily. The absence of a working phone wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be. Checking texts and emails every few minutes was replaced by listening to the demons in my head. With no phone turned on, avoiding contact with Emily was easy. Sure, I could have gone home, but I didn't. When I left work on Wednesday, the man himself was waiting for me. Daniel, I'd like to apologize. I was just being an idiot. I sprayed him with bug repellent as he backed toward his car. Mental note, buy more bug spray. You're a pathetic loser. By the way, I'm sleeping with your wife. You're a cuck. My suspicions were confirmed. Too bad I hadn't recorded it. His wife would have loved to hear that. See, on Thursday, Emily came back. She was dressed better than usual for a regular workday, in an elegant dress that stood out. In the office environment, Daniel, please, come home. Dressed like that, you look like the office adulteress today. Daniel, I dressed up for you. I doubt it. Now Michael shares you with others. Did you know he bragged about sleeping with you? If he said that, he lied. I've been faithful to you. I doubt that too. I don't know you anymore. I don't like you anymore. Add it all up, I don't love you anymore. 5 wasted years. Don't say that. Daniel, I was faithful to you and I still love you. Can I show you a video? Emily came closer, fiddling with her phone. She stopped a few feet from me and held it up. The video wasn't filmed by Emily, but by someone else, focused on her. Thank you all for taking a moment out of your workday. On Sunday afternoon, I did something stupid, something that could cost me my marriage. Many of you were there. So, today, I want to say, go to hell, Michael. How dare you insult my husband like that? In the video, Emily walked up to Michael. She shoved him, spit in his face, then turned and walked away. Notice, I changed clothes. I went home after lunch, and changed. I want you to come home. He said he slept with you. That's nonsense. Maybe he wants to, but I believe in my vows, and you'll have to decide who you believe. Well, a coworker of mine actually recorded this by chance. Right after I sprayed Michael, he turned on the camera. Want to see the video? The footage showed me walking away from Michael, who was leaning against his car, wiping his eyes. It clearly showed Michael saying I was a cuck. Daniel, that's not true. Burn that bastard. Send it to his wife. I have her email. What can I do to prove it to you? Ask anyone for evidence. There won't be any. I'm willing to take a polygraph test. When was this supposed to have happened? Help me, Daniel. I don't want to lose you over a false accusation. I know I owe you a lot for my behavior on Sunday afternoon, but there's never been infidelity on my part. As much as I don't want to think about it, I'm curious why he chose to humiliate me. Is that what you do when you're alone? Mock me. Emily fought back tears. I wasn't with him. I don't know why he was provoking you. She was choking on sobs. Part of me wanted to hold her. I had loved her enough to marry her. What if that bastard just wanted revenge for the time I embarrassed him? Those emotions clashed with the thought. What did you expect her to say? I still need time, Emily. I paid for a week at the hotel. Give me space. Tears ran down her face. Please come home. Daniel, I love you. Can you still say you love me? I love you, Emily. I just don't like you right now. Emily looked like she was about to collapse. I opened my arms, and she fell into them. Want to grab dinner? I'd love that. Daniel, there's a diner on the corner of Camelback and Scottsdale Road. Let's meet there. Dinner was awkward. Emily tried to act like nothing had happened. I, on the other hand, was bombarded by a million questions in my head. When it was time to go, I kissed Emily on the forehead, which brought tears to her eyes. Daniel, please don't look for comfort in anyone else. You don't need revenge, because I've always been faithful to you. I love you. Good night. I love you too. Emily, drive safe. Back in my room, I forwarded the video of Michael calling me a cuck, asking that it be sent to his wife. No surprise, the idiot was waiting for me after work on Friday. Michael didn't know security had been alerted and was parked near my car. When I entered the lot, Michael came at me yelling, "You bastard, I'm going to kill you." Luckily, all he managed was pepper spray in my face. As I wiped my eyes, he kicked me in the groin. Fortunately, the kick wasn't hard, but I still went down. He got another hit in before 2 security guards restrained him. The police were called. He was charged not only with assault but with making death threats. The guards had everything. On video, Emily left several messages begging me to forgive her, but I still needed time. That damn pepper spray was irritating as hell. I ended up tossing my clothes into the dumpster behind the hotel. Luckily, it was Friday afternoon, because the only outfit I had left wasn't work appropriate. It was dirty, and I didn't want to go home and deal with Emily. On Monday morning, I checked out of the hotel, fully intending to return home. However, after work, 2 men were waiting for me. "Mr. Harris, could we have a moment?" I couldn't tell which one spoke, but I turned to them. Who are you, and why should I talk to you? The shorter, older-looking one replied, My name is Charles Edwards. I'm temporarily filling in for Michael. This is John Peterson, from our corporate legal department. Last week, your wife resigned, and we'd very much like her to reconsider. We haven't been able to reach her. We were hoping you might clarify what led to this. Sitting on the hood of my car, I briefly summarized the past week. I may have left out the part where I sprayed Michael, framing it as self-defense. That's what I told the police on Friday. He had no proof, and the video my friend recorded was after Michael was already on the ground swearing. John tried speaking, like he was in a courtroom. Look, Mr. Harris, your wife isn't entirely without blame here, but regardless of her behavior at work, we very much want her back on the team. She was leading a lucrative project with a deadline approaching. Could you try convincing her to return? What do you mean by her behavior at work? The two glanced at each other like one of them had just farted. John tried to save face. Well, it's known in the office that she and Michael were very friendly. We don't have evidence they violated company policy, which only applies during working hours. Our investigation stopped the moment they left the workplace. If he was trying to help, he failed miserably. Listen, John, if you're not willing to share the investigation results with me, I have no further comments. Charles looked uneasy. As much as we'd like to, Daniel, that information is considered confidential, and employee privacy laws prevent us from disclosing it. Then I guess you'd better call Emily and ask her to try harder. Good day, gentlemen. As I drove off, I was more confused than ever. My initial suspicion that something was going on between Michael and Emily only grew stronger. Instead of going home, I drove to a sports bar in Tempe and called Emily from the parking lot. Daniel, when are you coming home? Well, that depends on you. I just spoke with your company's legal rep. He hinted your office friends threw you under the bus for acting unprofessional with Michael. Care to comment? Daniel, I've always been faithful to you. Then let me ask another way. Would you have done everything you did with him if your mother had been standing beside you? The silence said it all. Emily repeated, I've always been faithful to. I just wasn't honest. I'd given her the chance to confess, and she hadn't, so I hit the end button. Emily called back immediately. I answered, not now. I shut the phone off quickly and returned to the hotel. On the way, I stopped to buy new clothes at a mall in Scottsdale and wondered if this would be my new reality. One of my purchases was a new phone. To avoid ambushes after work, I started arriving at 4 a.m. and leaving at 1 p.m. My boss didn't mind and even suggested I work remotely a few days a week. Anyone who needed to reach me now had my new number. Nights were spent wallowing in self-pity and clearing out inboxes, emails, and voicemails. Yes, Emily seemed hurt, but she clearly hadn't been fully honest with me. The time apart was painful. She seemed sincere when she said she hadn't cheated, but something was going on. Sooner or later, I'd have to talk to her. Around 1 p.m., as I left work, I was called to reception. Are you Daniel Harris? Asked a casually dressed woman. Yes, how can I help you? I'm here to deliver this envelope. Have a nice day. Carrying the envelope to my car, I wondered if Emily had filed for divorce. Wrong. Inside was the result of a polygraph test and a signed post-nuptial agreement. I read the results line by line, then went online to verify the company was legitimate. It was, have you had any kind of sexual relationship with anyone other than your husband since you became exclusive? No. True. Have you had an emotional affair during that time? Yes. True. With only one person? Yes. True. Did you arrange meetings your husband would not have approved of? Yes. True. Did you accept gifts you should have refused? Yes. True. Is this still happening? No. True. Do you love your husband? Yes. True. There were several other basic questions, but my suspicions were confirmed. Now what? I turned my phone back on and invited Emily to dinner at a cafe. Her reply was a quick yes. Since dressing up hadn't worked last time, Emily showed up in jeans and a hoodie. Sorry I'm late, traffic was brutal today. No problem, I didn't think you were ignoring me. So, did you get my package? I did. It's kind of a good news, bad news situation. And for that, I'm sorry I was an idiot. And while you don't have to believe a word I say, it should never have ended with me sleeping with him. It doesn't matter. Being married means having the strength of character to make it clear to someone that you're married and keep things professional. Her eyes welled with tears. I know. I failed you. I failed myself. Please tell me we still have a chance. Are you still working with Michael? No, he was transferred. The higher-ups called me back with a raise. So now you'll have your eye on someone else. I guess I deserve that. I promise to be the ice queen with every man from now on if you'll come home. If I find out you haven't told me something about your indiscretion, I'll divorce you. I read the post-nup. Everything's in there. If you find anything, I'm done. I know you won't, because there's nothing to find. So, are you coming home? I reached across and took Emily's hand. She started to pull away, before I whispered, yes. We celebrated the 12 days of Christmas with more passion than ever. Her nod. We print it and anonymously mail it to Michael at his new office in Washington, D.C. Word is, Michael keeps a few little cow figurines on his
Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, it's easy and fast.